alongside me here at the MCG. As you said, Jared, just a hint of September about today, and both these two sides will be there, we think.
Yes, we think we'll know more this afternoon, but Madge Actor heading to the goal square. He'll be the deepest forward. Big job for Drew Petrie to be the hit-up player, supported by the Smalls.
And we're underway at the MCG. North at the G for the first time this year.
That's a good start.
There's a good start. Zeeble caught one.
And given the Smalls any great chance.
Bit of hesitation for Burgoyne. But eventually he's on his way, and so are the Hawks. Cyril knows where it's going. He's hung around for a long time.
Definitely a free kick to Cyril.
Yeah, he's got it. And Gunston's got away somehow inside 50. You ask the question, how is that possible? Bang! First goal on the board to the Hawks. Must have misread the cues coming in for him to be on his own like that.
I think Michael Ferrito had his focus in the beautifully.
Back to Birchall. Hodge on the wrong side. So it was a bit of a anything could happen sort of kick.
Push out.
And there it is. Segler's got it. They have the shot. You can see Goldstein just shaking his head.
Contest.
Just the clear hand in the back. Wasn't there for long, but enough to infringe for their second. And Jonathan Segler steps forward and nails it for the Hawks. Now Mitchell's on the move. Birchall to Harter. And the run comes via Isaac Smith. The handball's pumped to Hill. Look at the three speedsters all running together. Out to McAvoy, and they're still coming. He wants to give it back to one of them. He decides to go on the outside instead to Whitecross. And it's Hartung eventually on the 50, off the left, and Langford takes the mark. It's going to be a tough day for North if they can't restrain them.
The difference between this week and last week for Hawthorn is they're first to the outside, first out onto the wings.
They're winning the battle just about all over the ground at the present time. It's got some ugly signs about this one for the Kangaroos.
So Langford, his fourth goal for the season, and there it is. They lead by 20, which is plenty.
Well, the inside 50s are 10-2.
Let's see what the Roos response is. McAvoy taps it down. Cunnington, Hodge, Bruce, they're on the move again. Yeah. Out to Cyril, as easy as that.
Look out.
In a flash, the Hawks have 4, and North still have not left the stalls.
Well, when you get simple centre clearance goals like that, it's warning signs for the coach. Rioli, such a fantastic player, coming off the line. Just gets a simple one out the back. Good release handball. And that is just way too easy for a side that has ambitions of playing finals footy this year.
Sure is. Luke Hodge just knocking it forward there. It's the little things that Hawthorn do really well, like those knock-ons. Tap onto an opponent, a block for a teammate, I should say. The tap onto the teammate. They're the little things that Hawthorn are so cohesive at.
And it went through the hands of Swallow. And now Burgoyne finds himself in an attacking position. And Rioli is almost within range, but he sees a man in Lewis who's in better spot, finds him.
Relies on little mistakes like that.
Look, we constantly talk about Hawthorn's ball movement, but this is as crisp as I've seen it for a long time, boys.
Just a little sharpen up last week after the loss against Melbourne. And they've come out in the first quarter in 17 minutes and put 5 goals on the board. And North still haven't started. And North Melbourne need to find a way forward. McAvoy fends it down, and there's Langford out of the middle. And those smart forwards just ready to take whatever's on offer. And Luke Bruce winds his way out. Burton for his first goal, and got it! Ryan Burton, the 19-year-old South Australian. Sounds a bit like a movie star, doesn't he, Ryan Burton? It's a good script for him in his first quarter of AFL.
Ryan Burton saw what he had to go through with the injury that he had and the pain that he was in at certain stages through the AFL Academy, and now for him to come back, big stage, MCG, first game of football, and he's had an impact, Jared.
No doubt. Only thing that was missing is he didn't receive it from Taylor, but other than that, it would have been absolutely superb.
Well, here he is getting some words of wisdom and advice from none other than Jared Roughead before the game. He was a very high, and more damage can be done in that time. Whitecross with a big torp. Oh, Cyril! Can you believe that?
He just wanted it more.
Yeah.
He just wanted front position more. He just did everything possible then to fight and scrap his way to the front of that contest to take that mark against Adelaide.
Second goal, Surioli. In career best form at the moment. Starts it a little to the right, but it knows where to go. 7-3, 45 Hawthorn. Hodge getting things sorted in the middle. Gunston gives it plenty. Puopolo has a run, but can't get the jump. He's got it at the ground level. Bruce came by. What about the hands? And
this.
Bruce was working it out in his head, and he executed it amazingly well. But we should be used to it by now with Luke Bruce. Not too many do it better than Bruce.
He is showing some great signs today, Luke Bruce. Magnificent goal, well executed, well engineered. And just got that little upswing on the last bounce to take it right out of any chance. But nice little handball from Puopolo.
It was. The ball went over the back. They had good representation around that contest. Puopolo had the ball at the back, but Puopolo hit Bruce hit the ball at speed at the front of that contest, received the handball from Puopolo, and what a classy finish. 5
in a row since 2013, so he's timing his run nicely, heading to finals. Mitchell. Cyril! Oh! That was going to be one of the all-timers there.
And well done to the umpire. I mean, you've got a legitimate effort. Well, it was a legitimate effort.
Oh, look at that.
It was just
kidding me.
Skerrick away from one of the greatest marks we've seen.
Got Bruce and Hill. Both of them dangerous.
Hill
charging after the pickup. And puts it on the chest of Puopolo. Gee, you wouldn't want to let him go, would you?
How good was that?
Damage over in Western Australia, Hutto.
Yeah. Paul Puopolo returning to the team this afternoon. What a player he is. There's so many for the Hawks, all playing their part. 9-7-61 to 2-1-13 at the MCG. And it's back to 48 points. All Michael Ferrito to the Hawthorn fans. Not exactly his favourite already. Throw in.
Better from McAvoy. Cannot let Goldstein dominate those taps.
Langford. Smith. Charges away. Pumped up with a handball, breaking it open. Burton. No one goal side except Hill. And now Gunston's got to the right spot. He tracked it so well through the air. They all stayed, went down except those two. Hill and Gunston. And Hill gets the job done to break a Kangaroo hurdle too.
Well done, Hawthorn. Push the ball forward. Really bad mistake here from the Kangaroos.
What's the tap on here? Puopolo, look at that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Good stuff from the Hawks, fighting back. Learnt their lesson from the previous stoppage where they should have got a goal kicked against them. And then all the Kangaroos went to ground and all the Hawks stayed on their feet. And it was only a matter of who kicked the goal.
Traffic all went past. They're all minding their own business and left the way to goal. Swallow fumbled, half recovered. Del Santo, Nahas. They're giving Hawthorn every opportunity to get it back. And you can't do that to the champs because they will kill you on the turnover. Lewis, Mitchell flashing through. Bruce is going to be on the end of this. Of course he is, Luke Bruce. The others were fighting on the half-forward flank. Bruce fell over, he got up again. He kicked the goal. And North will be very dirty on themselves for that. The Hawks are the pros. You don't give them those sort of chances. Now this is the sort of scrap that we're expecting at the start. Bit of angst.
Well, the first one started with Hodge and Ferrito, guys. We saw them earlier in the quarter have a little go at each other. And
half their defenders weren't even in the action.
That's right. Well, it has a bit. No, it was the poor skill that cost North Melbourne the goal, no question. Yeah, they couldn't get back and reset because of this here. Luke Bruce just snuck out the back and
look at them, 3 defenders over there.
That's right, all fighting over there. But still, they had a massive opportunity, North Melbourne, to score.
They need to have a sweep of themselves.
Hill prepared to be aggressive and channel it through the middle. Mitchell to Smith. There's no one over the top. Now there is. Now there is. Man overboard. Puopolo to finish it. Oh, he's put it through. It's going to be hard from here. The Hawks have the answers again. And they lead by 27.
Well, there's the fast ball movement at its finest, Jono.
Really rapid, Fawley with the intercept mark, and then the transition play. And that's the run. You see Bradley Hill there, he kicked it. He could have got a handball back there from Isaac Smith with power run. But look at that, Puopolo in behind.
But all the hard work of the Kangaroos goes for nothing when they kick the ball into 25 metres out and there's no representation there. If they're going to play the slower game, eventually it's going to rely upon a pressured kick forward. Never has than the Hawks on counter-attack.
There's uncontested number disparity now. The Hawks have got a taste for some more. Smith to Langford, and they're inside again. Puopolo, or is it Cyril? It's Cyril, as it always is. He'd been down for a few minutes, but he rises again. And the Hawks are putting on a show, as they did at the start of the game. They were down for a little in the final term, and up Cyril.
Well, it started with just a magnificent burst from Isaac Smith from outside of the square. He came charging through, got on the end of it, and then the maestro. He went to work. What a player he is, Cyril Rioli. So there's plenty coming back, but they've got to get themselves into a position where, if they do get back, they can have an impact.
Curious kick, and Hill again.
Talking to Sean Higgins only 30 minutes ago.
Birchall stands up, and he helps himself to a rare goal. Just his second of the season, Grant Birchall. And the Hawks are going to end up with a very comfortable...
Higgins back in the side, back available next week. We spoke to him on the way round after half-time, and he's obviously a key component of their forward line and their polish.
Hopefully Brown back next week as well, hopefully.
And that's the issue, whether they go back to that...
Jack Short, Petrie Long, he went in between, found Mitchell.
Just sitting back, mopping up, getting in the right spot.
Another 10 possession last quarter for Sam Mitchell. The siren sounds, and at the end of that, after an enormous opening quarter, the Hawks have stayed on top of the AFL ladder, and North Melbourne's fate could well be in other teams' hands as well as their own. It's the Hawks by 39.
Yeah, the Hawks came to the fore in that last quarter, absolutely belted North Melbourne, who were unable to put a goal on the scoreboard. Despite so much to play for, it was the Hawks who lifted across the board.
What about the start of their game today? Their first quarter was absolutely brilliant. Hawthorn on response from the loss they had last week to Melbourne.
Talked about last week, it was a horrid game for you guys. You just said it yourself then. That start today, 8 goals to 1, was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, Melbourne brought it to us last week, and we didn't play too well, but yeah, it was really pleasing today. Kicked well early, and we kicked straight. I think last week we probably kicked ourselves in the foot a bit by kicking a lot of points, but yeah, it was nice to play like that early in the game.
A lot of talk about you guys being beaten on the outside last week, and Brad Johnson and Jared Hilly upstairs talking all day about yourself. Bradley Hill and Billy Hartung just on the outside really dominated today.
Yeah, no, Hilly and Billy were really good. It was good to get Billy back in the side. He had a couple of things to work on. He's improved, and he played really well at Hawthorn, and Hilly also got us going, but it was just a great team performance. I know that's boring, but it felt like everyone did something today which helped us win.
There was a lot of, they brought the pressure up, particularly after quarter time, and there's a lot to play for. Obviously, you lose that game, there's that possibility of dropping down to 5th outside that top 4, and you know how important that top 4 spot really is.
Yeah, it is important, but we've got the Eagles over in Perth next week, and then Collingwood, who played really well last night, so still a couple of tough games to go, but yeah, it's a great time of year. The sun's out and the grass is starting to grow.
Good on you, mate. Appreciate it. You got him down here, guys. You didn't want to talk. You didn't think he started today, but let's be honest. I mean, that start of that game today, yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. 8 goals to 1. You really brought the game today.
Yeah, our starts haven't been great over the season, and you know, credit to the boys the way we went today. Obviously, we had a bad loss last week, and we knew we needed to start well, and we finished out the game pretty good.
We keep talking about the synergy that this forward line has, and yourself and the other small forwards. I mean, I know you played a lot of footy together, but you just know where each other are all the time.
Yeah, we do. Obviously, you know, down at training, and you know, we're bringing it into games. And like I said, we've been playing, you know, a number of years now, and you know, Ryan Burton played his first game today, and he fitted in real well. So you know, we're breeding in the young players, but you know, our older players are going pretty good.
Your form at the moment, Cyril, is sensational, but nothing as sensational as that mark attempt down there. I mean, you realise you actually got your foot on his shoulder?
Yeah, I think it was a free kick. I was probably lucky enough not to give one away, but like Clarko says to some of the forwards, especially the small forwards, just go for your grabs, make sure you mark them, but on that case, I didn't take it.
Mate, it was just about, anyway, Hutto just about jumped out of his seat. It was fantastic, mate. I really appreciate your time.
No, thanks.
It was pretty poor, really, by Cyril not to mark it, wasn't it, when he got that far up on debut. And I think they're ready to sing the song.